Hello, how's everyone doing? I am back with another video. Today, I will be going over fasting, a purificatory exercise in the realms of Brahmacharya, semen retention, or just in general. Fasting is a great exercise to cleanse the body of any ailments. It is considered a fountain of youth for anyone that's dealing with any physical ailments within the organs, diabetes, etc. It's always been a great method to lower heart rate, to increase insulin sensitivity, to help the body naturally heal itself and not put a strain on any of the external or internal organs. Fasting controls passion. Fasting destroys sexual excitement. It calms the emotions. It controls indriyas also. Passionate young men and ladies should take recourse to occasional fasting. So guys, when you fast, the body starts to slow down, okay? It starts to slow down the aging process. The aging process comes from abuse of anything, substance abuse, anything external, alcoholism, smoking, excessive overconsumption. The fasting process slows down aging, okay? It helps you maintain your vital vigor, and especially for young aspirants, young men and women. Fasting will help destroy the sexual excitement because when you are able to control your tongue, you will be able to control many facets of your own life in the mental, the physical, and the astral. It will prove highly beneficial. Fasting is a great tapas. And like we mentioned before, tapas is a generation of heat. It purifies the mind. It destroys a great multitude of sins. Shastras prescribes Chandrayana Vrata, Krichara Vrata, Ekadasi Vrata, and Pradosha Vrata for the purification of the mind. The mind will be pure. We also recognize that what you consume has a direct impact on your mental state of being. We know that certain foods have a higher density, not the weight of the food, but the density of the food itself. Vegetables, water, these are the lightest of substance because it's the closest to water. Things such as dead meats or dead animals, these have the highest density because it is considered to be exactly what it is, something that's already dead. But plants, these are still alive and contain much of the alkaline elements you need. So we notice and we know that certain foods are going to be lighter for the energetic body than other foods. So it's essential to know how what you consume affects how you think. What you consume will affect what you do in the physical plane as well, and how you feel. Fasting controls, particularly the tongue, which is your deadly enemy. When you fast, do not allow the mind to think of delicious dishes, because then you will not derive much benefit. So the whole fact of, going on a fast, going on semen retention, it's not just to do the physical aspect. Many people come on this channel, many people go on various channels, and they always want to know what the physical benefits are. Oh, what if I go 80 days doing this? What would be my benefits? Will I become Superman overnight? That's not the case, guys. The case of the matter is to train the mind. The mind is a temple. You want to make sure your mind is at a point where the physical no longer matters to you. You shouldn't want to receive anything, and that's when you receive almost everything. Fasting overhauls the respiratory, circulatory, digestive, and urinary systems. It destroys all the impurities of the body and all sorts of poisons. It eliminates uric acid deposits, just as impure gold is rendered by melting it in the crucible again and again. So also, the impure mind is rendered purer and purer by fasting again and again. So, guys, when it comes to fasting, you slow down the aging process. Like we mentioned earlier, the overconsumption of things is what leads to these ailments, to these diseases, to these problems in the body, is oftentimes created by an overconsumption, an overexcretion, an overdoing, right? So it's essential to recognize that fasting will not only help revamp your system, your most vital systems, the circulatory, right? When people overconsume sugar, the blood moves very, very slow, right? It moves very, very slow. This slows down the healing process. This is why people that are normally overweight or have high sugar levels, it's very, very hard to heal from things. But when your blood is moving very, very fast and your circulatory is on point, you heal very, very quick. Very, very regenerative. It's so fast. Therefore, guys, recognize what you eat has a direct impact on how your body acts. And not just the physical body, but how your mind will feel as well. And just like gold, it can always be melted and made into another gold again. Whether it's a gold chain, it can be melted into a gold brick. Whether it's a gold nugget, it can be melted down and made gold again. This is the same thing with the mind. You can make it purer and purer again with these practices of removing indulgences, these practices of fasting, essentially. Over here on the right, we have a nice chart showing what happens during the fasting process. Weight loss, heals digestive problems, increases insulin sensitivity, which in America is a problem. Since the obsession of sugar, one can claim a bigger killer in America is sugar than any other facet. Slows down aging, boosts immune system, growth hormone goes up, reduces inflammation and increases focus. These are just some of the benefits that occur. There are a plethora of things that are going to happen within your body that you won't even know, because the body is a supercomputer working at all aspects, all facets, to make sure you're alive and well. And when you overconsume anything, the body has to work even harder to make sure you are alive and well. So giving your body, your temple, the needed break it's needing is a relief, not just to yourself, but to your body. But it's also saying thank you. Thank you to your body. Thankful to God. It's a release from any worldly attachments, any fears. That's ultimately where you want to be at. This is true Ananda. Young, robust brahmacharyans should observe fasting wherever passion troubles them. You will have a very good meditation during fasting, as the mind is calm. The chief object in fasting is to practice dhyana rigorously during that period, as all the indriyas are calm. So this is one of the dhyana mudras that you could see whenever you see a Buddha statue. You will see him doing this upward triangle, because this is a mudra that helps him focus. It helps you stay still like a cobra. The hooded cobra is very still until it's ready to strike. The same thing you want to do with the body and the mind and the tongue. True stillness should be invoked, should be practiced by many brahmacharyans, many people that are on the semen retention route, men or women, whoever, friends, brothers, sisters, whoever wants to slow down the aging process. Fasting is amazing. It is like the fountain of youth. In essence, you clear the physical body, your intestines, your circulatory, your urinary system. Everything gets flushed out. And during these fasts, if you include water, it will help you vigorously to flush out the system. You will have to withdraw all the indriyas and fix the mind on God. Pray to God for guiding you and throwing a flood of light on the path. Say with Bhav, "O God, prachodayat, prachodayat, guide me, trahi, trahi, protect me, protect me. I am thine, my Lord." You will get purity, light, strength, and knowledge. Fasting is one of the 10 canons of yoga. So, besides it being a facet of yoga, fasting is very, very important for you to connect with the higher source. Removal of any worldly attachments will help you reach Brahman, or the ultimate Atman. This is our purpose as human beings. We are not just animals, right? Even though some people may be overpowered by their most animalistic mind, we are not animals. We are humans. We are much more than that. We are a soul connected to the physical plane. Therefore, it's essential that you know where the source is. And this is the Brahman of all Brahmans, the infinite Brahman. Avoid excessive fasting. It will produce weakness. Use your common sense. Those who are not able to observe a full fast can fast for 9 or 12 hours and can take milk and fruits in the evening or night. So for each their own, okay? Many men that can push it can go 3-4 days, 5 days, 6 days. But this takes vigorous mind power, vigorous strength. It may not be for everyone to go that far. Maybe some people can start off slow. Maybe you can start off with, I won't eat for breakfast. Maybe I'll take 6 hours off, okay? And then you go work your way to 8. And then eventually when you have a day off, you could do the whole 24, okay? It's essential that you realize that this is not a punishment. This is more or less your time with God now. You controlling your tongue is now your time with God. During fasting, the internal digestive organs, such as the stomach, the liver, and the pancreas, take rest. Epicureans, gluttons, and those who are tireless eaters do not allow rest for these organs, even for a few minutes. Hence, these organs get diseased soon. Internal organs, such as the liver and pancreas, that do a lot of the work in the digestive tract, they play a keen role on the body's processes when it comes to consumption and excretion. Overconsumption of anything will always be harmful. The saying, too much of anything will be bad for you, is the truth. So therefore, friends, brothers, sisters, understand that putting your organs to rest is like a fountain of youth. It will help you in many facets. But most importantly, besides it helping you in the physical plane, it is about here. It is about mental strength, mental clarity. Those two things are more important than any physical benefit that you receive. But we now realize, and we're showing how many of ailments and diseases are created by the self as well. If people can control their tongue, they will face less ailments. But obviously there's nuance for this as well. But these organs, they get stressed. And when these organs are stressed, here comes ailments, okay? So it's essential that we give the body a rest every now and then. Diabetes, albuminuria, dyspepsia, and hepatitis are all due to overfeeding. After all, man wants very little on this earth. 90% of the people in this world take more food than what is absolutely necessary for the body. Overeating has become their habit. All diseases take their origin in overeating. It's to appease the sense perceptions, whether it's you like something that's very savory, salty. You like something that's very sweet and sugary. It's to appease the sense perceptions, the chewing process, the swallowing process, the taste process. This is all to appease sense perceptions. And it's to go without saying that most people, a lot of people, are consuming more than what's necessary for the body to continue. The body does not need much. The body itself is a self-regenerative process, a self-regenerative supercomputer. It can survive for many times without eating. The body is not clocked to have 3 constant meals every single day, okay? Our ancestors, before things turned civilized, before things turned so societal, indoctrinated, having times where you didn't eat was good for your body. It not only made you more hungry, it made you more focused. It made you want to take that drive to have another meal. Now, meals are just a dime a dozen. You just have them whenever you want. There's so much variety for foods. There's so much selection for foods that you can easily wear yourself out and wear your body out with this overconsumption of anything food related. An occasional complete fast is a great desideratum for all to keep up good health, relieve the internal organs, and maintain brahmacharya. Diseases that are pronounced incurable by allopaths and homeopaths are cured by fasting. Fasting develops willpower. It increases the power of endurance. Manu, the Hindu lawgiver, prescribes his code, the remedy of fasting, for removal of the 5 capital sins also. So guys, like I mentioned, you can reverse death. You can reverse any ailments. Many people who have lost a significant amount of weight understand that fasting or intermittent fasting or eating less calories than what their body is burning is essentially the fasting process, and it will help cure any ailments in the body. The body is a self-healing enigma. It heals itself. Anything external trying to heal you is only going to cause side effects. It is a market. Need I not say more about the market that we live in? The body itself will heal you. You just have to listen to your gut. You have to listen to what feels right. You have to control your tongue. For then it will increase the power of endurance. This is a true statement, and this is the most crucial part, is increasing the power of endurance. Not just the physical body, but here. This is where it matters most. This is where it matters the most. It is better to drink a large quantity of water, either tepid or cold, according to temperament and inclination. During fasting, it will flush out the kidneys and remove the poison and all sorts of impurities in the body. In Hatha Yoga, it is termed as Gata Suddhi, or purification of the flesh pot, the physical body, which is also known as the flesh pot. But don't think we are just succumbing only to this flesh pot. We are beyond that. We are etherical. We have an Atman body, an etherical body, an energy body. It's much more than just the physical apparatus. The physical apparatus is great. It appeases sense perceptions. But for spirit, there's matter, and for matter, there's spirit. This is the duality of all life. Therefore, guys, water during these fasts are great. It will help flush out any impurities in the kidneys, the pancreas, the liver, the digestive tract. It needs a break from overconsumption. So here, guys, purity of food leads to purity of mind. Sattvic food helps meditation. The discipline of food is very necessary for yogic sadhana. If the tongue is controlled, and all other indriyas are controlled. When you control the tongue, you control the mind. You control the mind, you control everything around you. You control how you receive energy, how you give out energy, what is important to you, what is not important to you, what deserves your light, what deserves no light. This all becomes a choice of the self, always. And this is why fasting is so important, because it helps build this mental clarity, this mental endurance. This is part of the Brahmacharya process that all young Brahmacharyans should take into consideration. You can add a half a teaspoon of soda bicarbonate to the water. Those who fast for 2 or 3 days should not break their fast with any solid food. They should take some kind of fruit juice, either sweet orange juice or pomegranate juice. They should sip the juice slowly. You can take an enema daily during fasting. So this is another way to flush out the body. During the fasting process, using enemas, etc. to help flush out the body even more. Not necessary. Really, all that's necessary is water. But for people that like to make sure their stomach is full, sparkling waters. Obviously not sponsored here, but Pellegrino is another example of a sparkling water, natural sparkling water, that many people use to fill their bellies. Bicarbonate waters, etc. These help to fill the belly, because water may feel extremely light. It's the most lightest of all drinks. To make it feel a bit more dense is to add the sparkling aspect to it. Now, after your fast, you can have fruits. You could drink fruits, have them in a juice, etc. This will help create this loop for you. You are rewarding yourself and creating this new loop. You are making these impressions and creating these thought patterns and making it a physical repetition. Fast for a day to start, then slowly increase the number of days according to your strength and capacity. In the beginning, you may feel a slight weakness. The first day may be very tiring. You will feel real ananda, bliss. On the second or third day, the body will be very, very light. Eventually, you want to get to a point where the body and the mind are very, very light. This is very good state to be in, because everything moves very harmoniously. It's not like you're being dragged down by any weights, any physical weights, any mind weights, any weights that have been put onto you because of the density of the foods you've been eating. You purify the mind, you purify the tongue, and you will purify the physical body. This is the essential of real ananda, which is considered all around bliss. You can turn out more mental work during fasting. Those who are in the habit of fasting will rejoice. On the first day, the mind will tempt you in a variety of ways to eat something or the other. Stand firm. Be bold. Curb the mind. At once when it hisses or raises its hood, do more japa of Gayatri or any mantra during fasting. So when giving up anything, giving up any vice, indulgence, etc., the mind will play tricks on you because it wants to retain or revert back to these old habits. This is why I always explain thought patterns start off from impressions of the mind. The mind wants to relive this over and over because it's so accustomed to it. The mind, the physical body, does not like new stress. It wants to remain in homeostasis. It wants to remain stationary. So whatever you've been giving it, it wants to repeat it. It's a repetition, a constant repetition. Therefore, you must remain strong. You must remain bold. You must build this mental endurance and know you want to reach Atman of Atmans, the true and an infinite Brahman, the Kether of all things, breaking duality and going back to singularity. This is where you want to be. Fasting is more a spiritual kriya than a physical kriya from the viewpoint of health. You will have to utilize the fasting days for spiritual purpose, higher spiritual purposes, and in the contemplation of God. Always entertain thoughts of God. Dive deep into the problems of life, such as the why and the wherefore of the universe. Inquire, who am I? What is this Atman or Brahman? What are the ways and means to attain the knowledge of God? How to approach Him? Then realize your Nijananda state and rest in purity forever and ever. My dear brothers, my sisters, will you start the fasting tapasya from the very second you read these lines? Peace be unto all beings. This is considered the path to eternal bliss. Removing yourself from any fears and removing yourself from the worldly world. This is not to say that you cannot enjoy the world, but this is to understand that you are beyond the physical plane. You will always be beyond the physical plane. You will always be more than what meets the eye. So guys, this has been fasting, a purificatory exercise in Brahmacharya, or a fasting in general is a great exercise to heal the body, almost like a fountain of youth. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you guys for showing the support that you do. Thank you guys for everything. Okay, thank you guys for viewing the video. And I'm so grateful that I got another chance to make a video like this again. So thank you guys for watching. And until next time, take care.